After banging my brain against the super strange and mechanically clunky story-driven Indica last week, I was delighted by Gatekeeper's simple, smooth straightforwardness. Unlike Indica, Gatekeeper is a story-less, stage-based roguelite that gives you control of one of 7 unlockable, you guessed it, Gatekeepers, and then asks you to murder everything in sight over and over again until you yourself are inevitably murdered. Translation? It's Isometric Risk of Rain 2 without the timer. Ardent fans of the roguelite genre will find little to no novelty on display in Gatekeeper, and that's okay. Not every game has to be an innovation, but if it isn't, it'd better be pretty darn polished and mechanically tight. When it comes to combat, Gatekeeper is very much both, dancing through the game's dozens of lethal enemy types, often all of whom appear on screen at once, or so it feels, and linking together devastating skill-based combos is a satisfaction I never grew tired of, probably because each run feels pretty different. In addition to the semi-random ordering of stages in Gatekeeper, the game gives you wide latitude to create new and interesting builds by prioritizing evolutions, skill upgrades, and artifacts. Evolutions occur upon leveling up, and doing so gives you the ability to choose between one of 3 stat boosts. Maybe you're tired of getting one-shot in later levels, so you focus on max health and regen rate. Or maybe you want to go all in on DPS, in which case it's hard to say no to total damage and skill recharge. But whatever you do, don't sleep on speed, as enemies get progressively faster as your run continues, to the point that you'll be perpetually running for your life by the 3rd boss. More on that son of a bitch in a bit. Every 5 evolutions, you'll get to upgrade one of your 4 skills, and doing so intentionally can result in some powerful combos. For example, the Mage Gatekeeper Pandora has a powerful Lightning Storm area of effects skill that pairs oh so nicely with the 3rd stage of her dash ability, which goes from plopping down a small and short-lived AoE heal in stage 1 to a large and long-lasting damage multiplier in stage 3. But evolutions are but the appetizer, because the real fireworks, aka artifacts, are found in the Emporium. It's here that Gatekeeper injects that addictive roguelite sense of progression into its otherwise routine formula. By completing Emporium objectives, some of which are comically particular, you'll gain the ability to unlock new artifacts. The more of these you unlock, the more they'll appear during your runs. And if you don't like what you're getting, some levels feature a forge that allows you to convert them into something else. Artifacts can truly transform the battlefield. I went from grinding down the game's bullet spongy bosses to melting them in seconds with an admittedly dangerous AoE artifact that forms by chance on kill and takes 10% of everyone's max health per 0.3 seconds, you included. Alas, if you're unable to pull off this gimmick or something similar, boss fights in Gatekeeper can turn into a real chore. And despite hours of attempts, I have proven unable to beat the game's 3rd boss, a smokestack behemoth that can kill you in seconds from across the map. This means I've only managed to unlock one new Gatekeeper, Pandora, after beating the game's fun and frantic wave-based arena mode. Now, before you cry skill issue, know this. After 10 hours of visiting new locations and unlocking artifacts, each of which helped elongate the next run, the game just outright deleted all of the progress I had made, bringing my total number of unlocks down from around 40% to 0. It's the only complaint I have about Gatekeeper's playability, as the game otherwise ran like a dream. I'm hoping this was a weird fluke unique to the review copy I received, but proceed with a degree of caution. Despite the at times absurd number of enemies and explosive neon-colored particulate on screen, I found it easy to keep track of my Gatekeeper. This is a testament to the game's visual design, not to mention excellent audio-visual telegraphing. For example, when those little death circles I use to exploit slow bosses form, the game will sound an ominous bell chime alerting you to their presence. And as much as I hate him, that smokestack monstrosity does bellow a low rumble before firing off his infinite heat-seeking projectiles. In conclusion, Gatekeeper is a strange bug away from being one of my favorite ever early access experiences. And that's without co-op, as I was unable to find anyone to play with during my pre-release review window. With a rumored price point between $20 and $30, I think the addictive Gatekeeper presents above average replayability and value. Thus, I'm giving the game an aggregate megascore of 3.45 out of 5, and welcome any questions about the game or my review. Until next time, this is Scope, and thanks for watching.